Scientifically years ahead, Angel Skin by Pond neutralizes the drying effects of detergents and soaps. Only Angel Skin penetrates the outer skin surface and actually heals chapping. For smooth, white hands, use Angel Skin by Pond.
From the cool minty tinkle of Noxzema to the glow-boosting power of hyaluronic acid, skincare has transformed dynamically over the last century. But which era really nailed it? Were the beauty staples of the past as timeless as they claim? Or do today's science-backed cult favorites steal the show? Let's dig into the jars, the bottles, and the formulas that defined every decade and see how far we've come. Whether you're a fan of vintage classics or a devoted skincare junkie of today, this is your ultimate skincare time machine. So let's start where it all began. Hello everyone, today I want to talk to you about a product that has genuinely been a game changer for me, Lumi. That's Lumi rhyming with gloomy. If you haven't tried it yet, you are seriously missing out. Lumi was invented by OB/GYN Shannon Klingman, and I received a few amazing Lumi products, and I'm excited to share with you my honest experience. Here's what I got. So the first item I received is the acidified cleansing bar, and it's pH optimized control odor, and it comes in a nice lavender sage scent, and it smells amazing. And the next item I got are cool cucumber deodorant wipes, and these are perfect for traveling, and they have 24-hour odor control. And then I got the deodorant. This is a whole body deodorant for pits, privates, and beyond, and I really love the nice toasted coconut fragrance. And this one has 72-hour odor control, and it's aluminum free. And then I got the whole body deodorant in minted cucumber, and I also have a mini version of it, and which is perfect for traveling. And then I also received the acidified body wash and clean tangerine, which smells amazing. I can't wait to use this in the shower as well. And I just love the fragrances. I love that they all smell all natural as well. And I'll be honest, when I first heard about Lumi, and Lumi isn't just for your underarms, it's actually a full body deodorant. And yes, I'm talking about your pits, your feet, your belly button, you name it. And what's incredible is that it's clinically proven to block body odor all day. And it continues to control BO for 72 hours, and it's pH optimized, baking soda free, aluminum free, and completely cruelty free, so it's safe to use anywhere. And I'll be honest, when I first heard about Lumi, I was a bit skeptical. A deodorant that works for your whole body and lasts 72 hours, but after using it, I can confidently say it works even better than I imagined. And for me, it's been life-changing, especially before big days out, like going out traveling. And I know when you're like on a plane all day, you feel really gross, or let's say you're going out after work and you don't have time to go home and change, and you bring just a spare set of clothes with you. That's always nice because, you know, if I work 9 hours and then I'm gonna go out after, that's like a long day. So it's perfect because you can just throw it in your purse as well, especially the body deodorant. So if you've been on the fence about trying Lumi, now is the perfect time to give it a shot. And remember, Lumi's holiday bundles are up to 40% off, which are a great deal for new and returning customers. And just for my followers, Lumi is offering an extra $5 off plus free US shipping on all orders over $30 with the link in the description box and pin comment. And don't forget to enter the promo code LauraJ at checkout. Thanks Lumi for sponsoring this video, and let me know in the comments below which holiday bundle you're excited to try. And now let's jump back into the main video. Chapter 1, the 1900s to 1910s. Simple solutions for complexions. In the early 20th century, skincare routines were incredibly simple. There were no serums or fancy devices, just a few trusted staples. Products were often multi-purpose, and many were inspired by home remedies passed down through generations. The beauty industry was just beginning to commercialize, but even then, a few standout products became iconic for their effectiveness. One of the most beloved products of this era was Pond's cold cream. It wasn't just a skincare product, it was a household name. Originally developed in the 1840s, Pond's gained massive popularity in the 1900s as a one-step one-step solution for cleansing, moisturizing, and removing makeup. Women loved its thick, luxurious texture, which felt soothing after a day spent in harsh outdoor elements. But Pond's wasn't the only option. Cuticura soap was another popular choice. Marketed as a medicated soap, it promised to clear acne, soothe redness, and even treat more serious skin issues like eczema. With its antiseptic properties, Cuticura tapped into the growing belief that skincare wasn't just about beauty, it was about health. And women in the early 1900s often saw skincare as a necessity, not as a luxury. Products like Dr. Sheffield's Cream Dentifrice, a multitasking cream originally marketed for dental hygiene, were sometimes repurposed for cleansing and moisturizing the skin. The lines between beauty and medicine were blurry, but that made these products even more appealing. Another staple was Vaseline. Though introduced in the 1870s, Vaseline was a universal skincare product by the 1900s. Used for healing cuts to softening dry, cracked skin, women used it as a rudimentary makeup primer to create a smooth base for face powder. What's fascinating is how multifunctional these products were. Whether it was Pond's or Cuticura or Vaseline, the emphasis was on simplicity. Skincare wasn't about layering a dozen different products, it was about finding a single solution that worked for everything. It's a philosophy we still see today in the minimalist skincare movement. Even though skincare was basic in the 1900s, it laid the foundation for routines we know today. And these products weren't just staples, they were the starting point of an industry that would eventually become the multi-billion-dollar beauty market we're familiar with. Chapter 2, the 1920s. The birth of commercial skincare. The 1920s marked a turning point in skincare as the rise of Hollywood, department stores, and advertising transformed beauty routines. For the first time, skincare was marketed as a glamorous necessity, and women embraced bold makeup trends that required reliable cleansing products. This decade also saw the creation of skincare brands that we know of today. One of the standout products of the era was Noxzema. Launched in 1914 as a medicated cream for sunburn relief, it quickly became a skincare staple thanks to its eucalyptus and menthol formula. Women loved its cooling sensation, which felt modern and refreshing compared to the richer, heavier cold creams they've been using for decades. And I bet the Noxzema back then was really nice. But Noxzema wasn't the only innovation of the 20s. This decade also gave us Pond's Vanishing Cream, which was a lighter, non-greasy alternative to traditional cold creams. It worked as a mattifying primer under makeup, giving flappers that perfect powdery finish for their bold new looks. With makeup becoming more popular, women started demanding products that worked seamlessly with cosmetics. And Pond's Vanishing Cream was marketed as invisible on the skin, making it revolutionary for its time. Its lighter formula reflected the shift towards more dynamic day-to-day beauty routines. And another must-have of the 1920s was Dorothy Gray Cleansing Cream. And Dorothy Gray was one of the first women to open a luxury beauty salon in New York, and her line of skincare products emphasized indulgence and refinement. Her cleansing cream became a favorite for removing the heavier makeup women wore during this era, and this was also the first time that skincare started leaning into luxury. Brands like Elizabeth Arden and Helena Rubinstein introduced high-end moisturizers, night creams, and other facial treatments. Their salons catered to the growing desire for beauty as an aspirational lifestyle, especially among flappers who wanted to emulate Hollywood glamour. And Helena Rubinstein's mantra, "There are no ugly women, only lazy ones," perfectly captured the era's focus on self-improvement through beauty. Her creams, like Valais, were often marketed as miracle products that could transform the skin, paving the way for the luxury skincare industry we know today. In the 1920s, skincare became more than a necessity. It became an art form. From the lighter, mattifying creams to luxurious treatments, this decade was all about embracing beauty as part of a modern lifestyle. And while some of these products have been lost to time, their influence on skincare routines are still evident today. And I wish they still made Pond's Vanishing Cream. I really want to try it, to be honest. Chapter 3, the 1930s. Hollywood's influence on skincare. The 1930s brought the glitz and glamour of Hollywood into every home. For the first time, movies were in full color in the late 30s, and audiences were captivated by flawless complexions of their favorite actresses. The beauty industry seized the opportunity to market skincare as the secret to achieving the screen-ready glow, and skincare routines became more elaborate as a result. So it's interesting to think that Hollywood is what kind of started it all out, where people really started to question their own appearances. And while cold creams like Pond's were still popular for cleansing, women began incorporating new new steps into the routines. Toner and astringents like Dickinson's Witch Hazel became must-haves for achieving that tight, poreless look made famous by Hollywood stars. And these products were often alcohol-based and marketed as a way to shrink pores and refresh the skin. Women were drawn to the idea of toners because they promised to give a matte, camera-ready complexion, a stark contrast to the dewy look popular in earlier decades. It's interesting to see how Hollywood influenced not just makeup trends but also skincare goals. Another standout product of the era was Dorothy Gray's Salon Cold Cream. With the rise of heavier makeup, thanks to the silver screen, women needed products that could effectively remove thick foundations and powders, and Dorothy Gray's Cold Cream was positioned as a high-end option for deep cleansing and perfect for aspiring starlets or anyone trying to emulate their favorite actress. The focus on makeup removal really started to change skincare in the 30s. Products had to not only cleanse, but also leave the skin feeling soft and hydrated. That's why cold creams remain staples. They offer the luxurious all-in-one experience. Another significant shift in the decade was the rise of beauty salons, where women could receive facials and treatments inspired by Hollywood beauty routines. This was the era when skincare started focusing on anti-aging. Products promised to reduce wrinkles, smooth fine lines, and restore a youthful glow. The cultural obsession with youth, fueled by Hollywood's ageless icons, really took off during this time, and it's a trend that never really went away. And mass-market skincare also began to flourish in the 30s, with brands like Ardena Skin Tonic by Elizabeth Arden. This alcohol-based tonic was designed to tone and refresh the skin, following the cleanse and tone routine popularized by beauty experts at the time. Products like these weren't just functional, they were indulgent. The packaging and fragrances added a touch of luxury to everyday routines, and women started seeing skincare as a form of self-care, not just as maintenance. So it's so interesting to think the 1930s were really a time when people started indulging in luxury items and thinking as a skincare routine as an indulgence. The 1930s brought more variety and sophistication to skincare routines. From cold creams to toners and anti-aging treatments, women were introduced to products that cater to their evolving beauty needs. And with Hollywood leading the way, skincare wasn't just about health, it was about glamour. Chapter 4, the 1940s, wartime skincare and the rise of multi-purpose products. The 1940s were defined by World War II, and with it came shortages and rationing that reshaped beauty routines. Women had to adapt by embracing multi-purpose skincare products, affordable, effective, and versatile options that could fit into the realities of wartime life. Skincare wasn't just about luxury anymore, it was a matter of practicality. One of the most relied upon products of the 40s was Vaseline, and this one was obviously introduced a long time before in 1870s, and it became a staple during the war years. Women used it to soften their dry hands, protect minor cuts, and even as a stand-up for lip balm or a moisturizer when other products were scarce. And Vaseline was the ultimate multitasker. Its affordability and versatility made it indispensable for women managing tight budgets and limited access to beauty products. And another favorite was Nivea cream, which I love. First launched in 1911, it gained international recognition during the 40s. Its rich lanolin-based formula was perfect for dry, chapped skin, which was more common for women working long hours in factories, outdoor conditions, and the blue tin became synonymous with hydration and relief. Nivea wasn't just a moisturizer, it was a product women could rely on during challenging times, and whether it was for their hands, face, or even soothing minor skin irritations, it was a one-stop solution. If you're buying it today, make sure you always get the German one, because it's a lot different than the other formulas. And for cleansing, Woodbury's facial soap became a household name. Marketed as a soap for a lovelier complexion, it promised to cleanse and nourish at the same time. Its gentle formula appealed to women who wanted affordable but effective solutions to maintain their skin. Unlike the heavier cold creams used for cleansing, Woodbury's offered a lighter option for women who preferred a quick and easy solution. It was marketed as a perfect soap for maintaining a fresh, natural glow even in tough times. With so many shortages, women also turned to DIY skincare remedies. Homemade masks using ingredients like oatmeal, lemon juice, or honey became popular for exfoliating and moisturizing. Olive oil was often used as a natural emollient, a tradition passed down through generations generations. These remedies were born out of necessity, but they highlight the resourcefulness of women in the 40s. Skincare didn't stop, it just became more creative and focused on what was readily available. Even luxury brands like Elizabeth Arden adapted to times. Arden introduced a simplified skincare line for women serving in the military, featuring products like cleansing creams and moisturizers designed to be compact and portable. This was a significant step in acknowledging the growing role of women in the workforce and armed forces, while still emphasizing self-care. Elizabeth Arden's focus on practical yet luxurious skincare was a nod to the fact that even in challenging times, women valued their routines as a form of self-expression and resilience. And the 1940s emphasized practicality and versatility in skincare. Products like Vaseline and Nivea became icons not just for their effectiveness, but for their ability to adapt to the demands of the time. And while the era may have been defined by wartime restrictions, it also laid the foundation for the idea of skincare as both essential and empowering. And looking back at the 1940s and the resourcefulness of skincare, it reminds us that beauty isn't just about luxury, it's about making the most of what you have, which is a good mantra to have now, and these timeless staples continue to inspire the way we approach skincare today. And I still use that Nivea. Like if my skin's dry at night, I coat it in that German Nivea and it really seals everything in, and I always wake up in the morning with like really nice supple skin, and I think it might even fade dark spots as well. Chapter 5, the 1950s, skincare goes glamorous. The 1950s were a time of prosperity and optimism. With the war over and the economy booming, skincare became more glamorous, commercialized, and an essential part of every woman's beauty routine. The post-war years saw a major shift in how skincare was marketed. Now it wasn't just about practicality, but it was about indulgence, femininity, and keeping up with the perfect polished image of the 50s housewife. One of the standout products of this era was oil of Olay, now simply known as Olay. Introduced in 1952, this lightweight pink beauty fluid was a stark contrast to the heavier creams of previous decades, and you can still buy the vintage beauty fluid today. I wish they had it in the glass bottle though. It felt modern, luxurious, and accessible to women who wanted soft, hydrated skin without the greasiness of cold creams. Oil of Olay was marketed as the secret to younger looking skin, a theme that resonated deeply in the 50s as anti-aging became a growing focus in beauty routines. It quickly became a staple and remains a beloved brand to this day. Another trend that gained traction in the 50s was the rise of professional skincare treatments, and beauty salons really picked up during this decade, and they started offering facials that promised deep, clean pores, improve circulation, and rejuvenate the skin. And products like Elizabeth Arden's 8-Hour Cream were used in salons and at home as multi-purpose treatments for hydration, irritation, and even minor burns. And Elizabeth Arden's 8-Hour Cream became a cult favorite. I mean, it still is today, and it's because of its ability to do it all. It hydrates the skin, it soothes rough patches, and even acts as a lip balm. And it's no wonder this product has stood the test of time. And it's even good for scrapes as well. And while cold creams like Pond's were still staples, new products like Pond's Angel Skin Lotion emerged as a lighter, more modern alternative for a lotion. And this shift reflected the growing desire for skincare that felt fresh and non-greasy, aligning with the evolving image of beauty in the 50s. This era was a turning point for skincare. It wasn't just about functionality anymore. It became about sophistication, glamour, and the promise for timeless beauty. And many of the products introduced in the 50s remain iconic today, showing just how much this decade shaped the way we approach skincare. And Chapter 6, the 60s and 70s, the natural skincare movement and scientific innovations. The 1960s and 70s were decades of transformation. On one hand, beauty routines began leaning towards scientific advancements, with products designed to target concerns like acne and aging. On the other hand, there was a growing countercultural movement that embraced natural beauty and simpler, back to the basic skincare. And the 1960s marked a pivotal moment in skincare history. This was when dermatologists and scientists began heavily influencing beauty routines. One of the most significant launches of the era was Clinique, introduced in 1968 by Estee Lauder. It was the first ever dermatologist-developed skincare brand, and it revolutionized the industry with its famous three-step system: cleanse, exfoliate, and moisturize. And the Clinique three-step system, which included the facial soap, clarifying lotion, and the dramatically different moisturizing lotion. And it was a game changer. It taught women to think of skincare as a routine rather than a single product, and the idea of using products tailored to your skin type. And that's something we all see today, and face masks also became a popular addition to skincare routine in the 60s. Products like the Queen Hyleine Mint Julep Mask promise to tighten pores, reduce acne, and leave the skin feeling fresh, and you can still buy this one today. And it became a staple for anyone struggling with oily or acne-prone skin, and it was definitely a budget-friendly option, and again, it's still around today. And by the 1970s, skincare began to shift towards a more natural, plant-based solutions, aligning with the back-to-nature ethos of the decade. Brands like Aubrey Organics began experimenting with ingredients like aloe vera, witch hazel, and honey, appealing to consumers who wanted products free from harsh chemicals. And witch hazel became a cult favorite during the 70s, touted for its gentle toning properties and ability to reduce inflammation. It was often used as an all-natural alternative to alcohol-based toners, which could be too harsh for sensitive skins. While natural skincare was gaining traction, the demand for anti-aging products continued to grow. Brands like Olay expanded their lines to include anti-wrinkle creams, eye creams, and nighttime treatments, and this dual focus on both natural and scientific advancements reflected the diverse beauty priorities of these decades. And meanwhile, iconic products like Noxzema remained staples in skincare routines. Its cooling and medicated formula was a favorite for cleansing and soothing irritated skin, especially for younger people dealing with breakouts. It was also the era when Noxzema introduced its shaving cream, showing how versatile skincare products were branching out into new categories. And the 1970s also brought us Neutrogena, which was praised for its gentle, glycerin-based cleansing bar. It was one of the first products to position itself as a dermatologist recommended, and a trend that's still incredibly influential today. I mean, I feel like every brand now says that. And the availability of dermatologist developed and plant-based products in stores gave women more control over their routines than ever before. Whether they wanted a clinical approach or a natural one, the 60s and 70s offered a range of options to fit their lifestyles and skincare needs. And this period really showed the contrast in skincare trends. On one side, science-driven routines like Clinique and Neutrogena, and Oil of Olay on the other, and natural DIY-inspired solutions like witch hazel, aloe vera, and Queen Hyleine mask. It was the beginning of a more personalized approach to skincare, so it wasn't a one-size-fits-all. In Chapter 7, the 80s and 1990s, skincare becomes high-tech. The 80s and 90s were decades of transformation for skincare. With advancements in science and the influence of celebrity culture, skincare shifted from simple cleansing and moisturizing to sophisticated treatments targeting specific concerns. This was the era when high-tech ingredients, anti-aging products, and sun protection took center stage, forever changing how we care for our skin. In the 80s, skincare became increasingly scientific, with brands introducing active ingredients like retinol, AHAs, and BHAs to the mainstream. These were groundbreaking discoveries that promised real results for issues like wrinkles, acne, and uneven texture. I can't imagine not having those products in your skincare routine. And one of the biggest innovations of the decade was Retin A, a prescription-strength retinoid originally developed to treat acne. I've used the prescription strengths. I find they really irritate my skin, but I really like the Skin Medica retinol. The 0.25% is actually really affordable in Canada. It's only $60, which is decent for a retinol, especially since it's like a medical grade. And dermatologists quickly realized that it has also reduced fine lines and improved skin texture, making it the first widely used anti-aging product. And Neutrogena was another major player in the 80s. Their oil-free acne wash became a must-have for teens and young adults struggling with breakouts, and its active ingredient, salicylic acid, helped exfoliate and clear pores, paving the way for acne treatments we see today. And I definitely used this wash in the 90s. And luxury brands like Elizabeth Arden also embraced innovation. In the 1990s, Elizabeth Arden introduced their ceramide capsules, single-use doses of ceramide-rich serum designed to strengthen the skin barrier and lock in hydration. And this product was one of the first to focus on skin barrier repair, something that remains a key trend in modern skincare. And I actually really like these capsules. They're quite expensive, but I noticed that you can buy them at Costco, at least in Canada, and they're like half the price. And AHAs like glycolic and lactic acid were also huge in the 80s. They became popular for their ability to exfoliate the skin and promote cell turnover, making them ideal for reducing fine lines and improving skin tone. Products like Avon Anew Retroactive introduced women to at-home chemical exfoliation, which felt like cutting-edge science at the time. And the 1990s brought a shift towards skincare that was both simplified and preventative. And this was the decade when SPF became a non-negotiable part of daily routines, as awareness about the dangers of UV exposure grew. And it is crazy to think, because a lot of older people come to my work and they have skin cancer now because they never wore sunscreen their whole lives up until maybe the 90s and early 2000s. And now they're definitely paying the price. And moisturizers also became more advanced in the 90s. There was the Olay Total Effects, which was launched as an all-in-one cream targeting the 7 signs of aging, combining anti-aging ingredients and SPF. I've always been curious about trying this one. Let me know if you have. I wonder if it's good. And this multitasking approach appealed to busy women looking for simplicity in their skincare routines. And let's not forget Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser. And this one was originally developed in the 40s, but it gained massive popularity in the 90s as more dermatologists began recommending it for sensitive skin. It's mild, its soap-free formula became the go-to for people dealing with irritation and dryness. It is a good cleanser for that. And another staple that gained traction in the 90s was Aquaphor Healing Ointment, and this one was initially marketed as a medical product. People started using it for everything from healing dry skin to soothing irritation caused by retinols and AHAs. And the aesthetic of skincare also evolved in the 90s. Clean, minimalist packaging became the norm, reflecting the growing emphasis on health and wellness. Products didn't just promise beauty, they promised better skin health overall. And the 80s and 90s laid the foundation for what we see skincare today, with retinols, chemical exfoliants, ceramides, and sunscreens. And these are all major players in modern skincare routines. And the idea of multitasking products as well, like the Olay Total Effects, was a way to streamline routines that many people prefer today. And Chapter 8, today, skincare meets science and personalization. So after all this time, today's skincare is more innovative, inclusive, and science-driven than ever before, with a focus on personalization and targeted treatments. Skincare is no longer a one-size-fits-all routine. Instead, it's a mix of clinical-grade ingredients, affordable accessibility, and cutting-edge technology that cater to every skin type, concern, and budget. And I do like that there are affordable options too, versus just only high-end, that are quite effective. And the biggest trends in modern skincare is the emphasis on active ingredients. Brands like The Ordinary and Paula's Choice have democratized access to powerful skincare ingredients like retinol, niacinamide, and salicylic acid, allowing people to create their own customized routine. And The Ordinary was a game changer when it was launched in 2016. Its affordable, no-frills approach made one exclusive ingredient available to everyone. And suddenly, anyone could create a routine tailored to their specific needs, whether it's acne, dullness, or fine lines. And Paula's Choice, on the other hand, had brought clinical-grade exfoliation to the masses with 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. I haven't tried Paula's Choice before, but I've heard good things. I'm curious. Let me know in the comments below. I've heard a lot of people using it. And this product became a holy grail for people struggling with blackheads and uneven texture, improving that effective skincare didn't have to involve harsh scrubs or expensive treatments. And I have used The Ordinary Retinol Oil 1%. Obviously, it's not as strong as like a medical grade 1% retinol, but I liked how it was moisturizing combined with the retinol. It wasn't bad. I didn't really get a lot of irritation, but I did like it, and it was so affordable. I think it's only like $10 or $11, which is pretty good. In the 2020s, protecting and repairing the skin barrier has become a major focus. Brands like CeraVe and La Roche-Posay led the charge with formulations rich in ceramides, niacinamide, and hyaluronic acid, ingredients that support skin's natural defenses. CeraVe's products have earned cult status for their simplicity and effectiveness. Their moisturizing cream loaded with ceramides and hyaluronic acid is a staple for people with dry, sensitive skin. And La Roche-Posay says Balm B5 is a miracle worker for irritated and compromised skin, and these brands have redefined hydration and barrier care, making them accessible to everyone, and it's all about strengthening the skin from within, a philosophy that contrasts sharply with the harsher exfoliation trends of the past. Another major shift in modern skincare is the emphasis on sun protection. Sunscreen is no longer optional. It's a cornerstone of any good routine, and formulations have come a long way from the heavy, greasy options of the past. Today, you can find sunscreens for every skin type and concern, whether it's the lightweight, invisible finish, and there's lots of options, drugstore brands and higher end brands. Even a lot of face creams and foundations have sunscreen in them. I mean, I definitely think it's important to wear sunscreen, especially if you are using products with retinols and AHAs in them. And the shift towards daily sun protection reflects a growing awareness of how much sun damage can contribute to aging and skin cancer. And you should be wearing it in the winter as well, not just summer. So it's good to have a daily face cream or foundation or something. And another innovation shaping today's skincare world is the rise of technology, from the LED light therapy to microcurrent devices. At-home treatments that were once only available in clinics are now widely accessible. There's devices like the Foreo UFO, Dr. Dennis Gross's LED mask. They offer high-tech solutions for hydration and anti-aging and even acne. I've never used any of these. I'm curious. I've seen a lot of people using these masks online. And the biggest trend today, again, is personalization from brands like Curology, which creates custom prescription formulas for acne, anti-aging, to DNA-based skincare recommendation. Routines are more tailored than ever before, and skincare has become a blend of art and science. With options like custom-made serums or AI-based skin analysis, people can now create routines that truly fit their individual needs. And today's skincare routines may look completely different from the past, but the goal remains the same: protect, nurture, and enhance our skin. So whether it's through groundbreaking science, all-natural formulas, or personalized routines, skincare has become an essential part of self-care. And it's incredible to see how far we've come from the simplicity of cold creams to all these high-tech options today. I mean, I definitely think people can go too far and extreme with the routines, but a lot of these old-fashioned cult classic products from the 20th century are still going strong today, and a lot of them are very effective. So let me know in the comments below, do you use any of those old faithful products? Do you combine some like modern, more technical skincare with like retinols with some of your past favorites? I kind of like to combine. I use like some drugstore, a few higher end things for like retinol. I like a combination of both. So let me know in the comments below what you do for your skincare routine. All right, thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out some of my other videos.